Hi everyone, and welcome to week 2. This week we're going to be talking about a time period called the Upper Paleolithic, and this refers to totally modern humans living in the ice ages in Europe. Now, the earliest modern humans, or the earliest humans, are from Africa, and they subsequently migrated into Europe and spread throughout the world. And the reason we're talking about Europe now is not because these are the earliest humans, but rather because the preservation is so good. And that's because people were living in caves during this time, and that afforded some protection of artifacts and paintings from forces like wind and water and other types of erosion. And so today we have a really good record of artifacts, art, and burials from this time period in Europe. And I suppose one of the big take-home messages is that people during this time, some 30, 40,000 years ago, were identical to us. So not just physically, but also intellectually, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all that. And there's evidence for this. So one of the things that shows up really well during the Upper Paleolithic is evidence for art, and one type of art called representational art. And these aren't just designs or scribbles, but it's art that represents something in the world, like horses or giant bison, that kind of thing. Another thing that shows up is evidence for ritual. So we see elaborate burials, possible shaman's hut, and other bits of evidence for ritual, like a particular type of artifact called a Venus figurine, or sometimes referred to as a woman figure. And there's also evidence for things like tailored clothing or sewn clothing. So sometimes you see artistic depictions of people during this time with like a wet fur slung across their back. And that's not very accurate because there are bone and ivory needles from this time period. So we know that people were really good at making clothing and that they were sewing them. And so that should get you started for this week. I hope you have a great week and happy learning. Bye now.